day and welcome to today's live. Today we're going to be talking about 5 focuses that are fencing out your freedom. 5 specific focuses that you're dealing with right now, which are most likely fencing out your freedom. But what's very interesting about these 5 focuses we're going to be talking about today are those very same 5 focuses can actually free up your actual freedom. So if that's interesting to you, let me know in the comments as we get jump started into today's session. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 focuses that are potentially able to fence up or alternatively free up your freedom. Now, first and foremost, if you are jumping in, let me know inside of the chat where you're joining me from. Let me know inside of the chat where you're joining me from so I can welcome you kindly to today's live. Today's live is literally going at a slightly different time than usual. We're literally in the early hours of the morning, maybe because it was the first of the month and I wanted to make sure that I came to add value to you guys. And depending on how this live goes, what I might actually do is something I was thinking of doing, which is actually even doing a live for the next 5 days in order to assist you guys to move further faster in your future. If that sounds like a good idea, let me know inside of the comments. If that sounds like a good idea, let me know inside of the comments. You can literally say, Samuel, 5 days of going live. Yes, we are in it to win it. We are open to that happening. And for those of you who are joining us, Sacha, welcome to the live. Sam, welcome to the live. TikTok user 2023, welcome to the live. And all of the other welcome to the live, welcome to the live, welcome to the live. All right, we got Wakefield in the UK. Awesome. Listen, with all of this happening, let's do what we should do. I'm gonna open up the map for you so you guys can let me know where you are tuning in from. So guys, here's the time. Let me know, are you in the UK? Are you in the US of A? Are you in Australasia? Are you in Asia? Are you in Mother Africa? Let me know where you are joining this live from, so I can cordially welcome you into this live. Wherever you're joining me on this live, feel free to let me know inside of the chat, wherever that may be, so I can welcome you to the live and thank you for joining me. Now, in this live, we're going to be talking about 5 focuses that literally shift your situation in order to either fence out or free up your actual freedom. Now, specifically what we're talking about is a bit broader than finances, right? Because typically when people engage with my content, a lot of the time it's because they're interested in the financial element. All right, Mandy, we see you in the house. Mandy says, yes, sir, let's go. Now, a lot of the time we're talking about financial freedom, right? People who follow me a lot of the time, they're often interested in the financial freedom element. Today, we're going to be talking about something which is way broader than financial freedom. We're going to be talking about something that dips into your relational freedom. So if you're someone who's married, just write in the comments, I am. If you're someone who's in a committed relationship, just write in the comments, I am. If you're someone who's saying to yourself, you know what, Samuel, I need to sort out my health, this is literally going to break into that area of your life. So whether it's about health, whether it's about wealth, whether it's about relationships, today's live is literally going to help you to expand and maybe even open your eyes. Let's go. We see the yes, sir, in the chat. So with that being said, guys, if you guys are ready to go, let me see the word ready in the chat. If you guys are ready to go, let me see the word ready in the chat. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump right in to today's session, because today we are going to be unpacking, revealing, and actually adding value like never before. Let me just say this first and foremost. Mandy says ready. I love this. We've got a gift automatically also already. Sorry, I'm thinking faster than I'm talking. We got a gift already from Mandy. Mandy sends in the rose. Mandy, thank you ever so much for the rose. We got TikTok user 2023 who says ready. TikTok user 2023, let me know your name so I know who I'm talking to. I'm old school, so I usually address people by their name, but it is well. And Mandy says I'm there, so I know you guys are ready to go. All right, with that being said, let's jump right in and I can give you guys the value that we have in store for you in today's session. Now, if I told you that there were simply 5 things or 5 areas, all right, Shah says, I am Shah. Welcome, Shah. Great to have you in the live, all right? And Shah decided to follow the host as well. So Shah, thank you ever so much for hitting that follow, right? And guys, you know what? I usually forget this, right? And try to remember this. But guys, if you get value at any point throughout this live, feel free to hit the like, feel free to follow, or feel free to subscribe, depending on what platform you're on. And if you hear something that's super valuable and you're like, you know what? I know someone else who would be able to take value from this as well. What I want you to do is share as a sign sign to show you care. All right. So feel free to share this content with someone else. And I know some of you are going to be saying, but Samuel, I'm in the UK and right now, like it's nearly 1 a.m. Am I sure I can be sharing when I should have been yawning? Here's what I'm going to say to you guys. Just hit share and show that you care. There's someone else who's up right now, probably because they're stressing out about moving further, faster in their future. And this may actually help them. This may shoot them, catapult them, expand them, enlarge them, and take them to a whole new other place in their financial race. Let's go. We got Semya in the house. Semya says, yes, morning. Semya, welcome to the live. Always great to have you in the live as well. All right, let's jump in, right? So guys, here's a question, right? If I told you that there were only 5 things you need to focus on in order to fix your finances, would you be excited? Let me see a yes in the chat if you'd be excited. Let me see a no in the chat if you wouldn't be excited. Let's take a poll real quick, right? So if I told you there's only 5 things, you don't have to focus on 498 things. You don't have to focus on 613 things. If I said to you there are only 5 things, if you focused on and got those 5 things right, your financial freedom, your relational freedom, your health freedom, your wealth freedom would all get fixed. If that would be exciting to you, someone just put the word yes in the chat, right? Because here's the thing that's interesting. The problem for many of us is not that we have to do too many things. The problem for many of us is we just don't know what the right things are. Okay, Samuel, what do you mean? How can you say that? How can you be so bold to say that? I'm going to tell you why I'm so bold to say that. Because most people think hard work is the answer. So guess what they do? They work extremely hard. And then they find that the hardest workers are not the highest rewarded workers. If that's correct, someone write yes in the chat. Is that true? Let me know if that's true. Have you found, like I found a number of years ago, that it is sound that the hardest workers are not the highest paid workers? If you've experienced that, if you found that out to be true, if you're someone else who's realized that, like I realized that too, then let me know in the chat. I see Mandy who says, yes, that's true. I'm seeing that's yes. I'm saying, okay, that's a fact. Okay, the comments are popping off. You guys are letting me know right now. It is popping off in the chat right now. Samuel says, yes, that's a fact, Samuel. Okay, this is powerful. Shah says, yes, sir, that's a fact. Okay. Let's go. Mandy says yes with multiple S's. All right. And we've got Tickton Inek. Let me know your name so I know who I'm talking to. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love this. Tickton Inek says this is a fact that's been known from ages. I love this. So Semia says 100%. So guess what, guys? If it's a fact that the hardest workers are not the highest paid workers, then wouldn't we want to know what we need to do in order to flow into a higher level of financial fuel? Like, I want you to think about it for a moment, right? Just think about this logic, right? If the hardest workers are not the highest paid workers, what does that actually mean? For most people, it means, oh, it's a rigged game. For some people, it means, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, okay? And none of these am I saying is not true, but I want you to think about, really think it through. What does it mean if the hardest workers are not the highest paid workers? If you guys have any thoughts, just throw them in the chat, right? But I think that one of the obvious things we can take away from this idea that the hardest workers are not the highest paid workers. Hello, somebody. I hope you're ready for this. If you guys are ready for what I'm about to share, just write the word ready in the chat. If you're ready, just write the word ready in the chat. And I'm going to share this even for the people in the back. Okay? I want you to think about this for a moment. If the hardest workers are not the most highest paid workers, what that actually means implicitly is that you don't have to be the hardest worker to get paid higher. What that actually means implicitly is that if it can work for them, those who aren't working the hardest, it can work for us, those who might not even be able to work the hardest. If this is making sense, someone write in the chat, it does, if this is making sense. I wanna know if this is clear. I wanna know if you guys are understanding what I'm talking about. All right, and I'm just realizing this watch that I'm wearing right now has not even had this hour moved forward. So let me do that right now. Cool, there we go. All right, there we go. Semia says it does make sense. Semia says it's your overworked. Okay, she says for most people they're overworked and underpaid. I love that. Most people are overworked and underpaid, and I'm going to tell you why, Semia. I'm going to tell you why, Mandy. I'm going to tell you why, Shah. I'm going to tell you, all of you guys who are tuning into that. I'm going to tell you exactly why most people are overworked and underpaid. Most people are overworked and underpaid. Here's a secret. Hope you're going to write this down. Make sure you have your pen, paper, your iPad, your tablet, your stylus, your pen, paper, everything you need in order to succeed. The reason why most people are overworked and underpaid is because most people focus on working on the wrong things. Think about that for a moment. If the hardest workers, and guys, I know that feels uncomfortable because that makes you feel how it made me feel in 2015 when I realized this. It makes you feel like, hold on a minute, are you telling me, Samuel, I've just spent the last 10 years, I've just spent the last 20 years, I've just spent the last 30 years working on the wrong thing? I don't want to accept that. I get it. I understand, okay? Shah says, I'm actually agreeing. Listen, I understand that it's hard to face sometimes the truth. But here's the reality. The truth, as hard as it may be, helps you and me. It doesn't necessarily harm you and me. I hope somebody understands that. The truth, as hard as it may be, ultimately helps you and me. It does not harm you and me. The truth, let me tell you what the Bible says. It says the truth will make you free. Oh, someone needed to hear that part. The truth, as much as it may feel uncomfortable, as much as it may feel like, you know what, I don't want to hear that, as much as it may feel like, you know what, that's for them, that's not for me. Let me tell you something. The truth will make you free if you work with it, if you utilize it, if you allow it to do what it is supposed to do. It will change things for me. It will change things for you. You know what we need? We need the truth. Okay, we need the truth. We live in a world where there's a whole bunch of things that people are playing with, and the truth, unfortunately, just isn't one of them. So in this live, I don't know, should I do 5? Let's go. I said at the start of the live, I'm considering, because it's a brand new month, we're in April, okay? So let me break down the rationale, okay? We entered April the 1st, and obviously for most people, that's April Fools. They want to act a fool. And I thought to myself, well, hold on a minute. What I could do is actually go live. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I hope I'll be able to do this. But actually go live every day for 5 days and unpack in depth each of the 5 focuses that can literally release your freedom to you. Now, I don't know what time I'm going to go live. I'm a happily married man with 6 children, right? So that's even outside of all the stuff I do in terms of coaching, business, etc. But if you guys would like me to go live for today and the next 5, it's going to be 5 in total, so 4 more after today. Just let me see in the chat the word live, okay? Let's do this. Let me see in the chat the word live, okay? Live, right? And if I see enough lives, what I'll do is I will go live today, tomorrow, the day after. I will aim to go live each day for 5 days straight, okay? And what I'm gonna do in these 5 days of lives is I'm gonna be unpacking in each of these days, one in each day, of the 5 focuses. Now, if you guys would like me to tell you all 5 of the focuses today, just write in the chat the word today. I see the live coming in. Samuel says live. Samuel, I want you live, right? Shah says live. Samuel, you need to go live, right? I love this, right? If you guys would like me to tell you what all 5 of those focuses are, I can tell you what all 5 of those focuses are today. And then straight after I tell you what all 5 of those focuses are today, I'll then unpack the first one, all right? Now, the first one is one I think is extremely exciting. I'm just going to be very honest with you. The reason why is because the first one shows you how to take advantage of all of the other 4, okay? And remember, let's go back to this key. If the hardest workers are not the highest paid workers, then what does that mean for you? What does that mean for me? It means that getting paid higher can actually be a real reality for us. It means it doesn't have to be harder for us if we focus on the right things, okay? The chat is blowing up. Look at this. Mandy says live, okay? I love this. The lives were coming in, right? So guys, let me know in the chat if you want me to share all 5 right now. I'll share all 5 right now, and then I'll unpack the first one in this live. And hopefully if we have time, I'll open up some Q&A at the end of this live. So if you want me to share with you all 5 right now, just write the word today in the chat, right? Samuel, give it to me today. Today, tell me what all 5 are, and then let's unpack the first of the 5 focuses I need in order to fix my finances. Now, I'm gonna say this before I even share, right? I see those comments coming in, but I'm gonna share this before I even share, because I want you guys to be aware of this, right? These same 5 focuses do not only fix your finances, but they can also be the things that are fencing your freedom. Okay, so this is why it's important to know them, because a thing that most people don't realize is very often okay, let me do this. This is going to be helpful for you guys. All right, if I can help you guys, someone just write the word help in the chat. Let's see if we can jump right in to the value. Let's see if we can jump right in to the value. I'm getting my stylus, my notepad, my iPad, my tablet, my pen, paper, everything I need in order to succeed, because I want to start unpacking the value and seeing if we can go further, faster in this session to help you move forward. Let's go. Let's see if we can do this. All right, look at this. It's looking like my stylus battery's dead. Oh my gosh. This is what happens when you don't charge your stylus, because you are just out here saying you're gonna help people regardless of whether their equipment works or not. Let's go. As you can tell, I'm having fun today, as I usually have on our lives. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, let's see if I can get the stylus connected, and then I'll jump into it. So Samuel's ready. Samuel says, Samuel, you better bring that help. Let's go. Let's go. All right, we're going to get into the help. All right, wow, the battery's actually full. Okay, so maybe I was turning it on the wrong way. All right, so look, let's go into this. You guys have said, oh my gosh, the lives are coming in. Coach Mandy says live. Mandy says yes. You guys said today. Okay, Samuel was all the way early. I didn't even see that. Samuel said today. Let's go, let's go. And guys, if you are on a platform and you haven't hit like, you know what to do. You know what it's like. Hit that like so the platform can share this with more people just like you, so we can create a community that can do what we're all going to do. Let's go. All right, so Samuel says today. Samuel, share all 5 today. Mandy says today. Mandy says share all 5 today. All right. Shah says today. Share all 5 today. All right. And you guys have said help as well. So I'm gonna go into the help in a moment, right? So I'm gonna share all 5. Then I'm gonna go into the help, and then we're gonna deep dive into the first of the 5. If that sounds like a good plan, someone write in the chat, good, right? If that sounds like a good plan, someone write in the chat, good. All right, let's jump into this. Actually, I said I'm gonna share all 5. All right, let's share all 5 on the board. Let's do this before I even go into the help. All right, so let's share all 5. The first focus, which is super crucial. This is the focus I'm going to deep dive on today, if you guys are ready for it, right? The first focus is a person's mindset. Okay, mindset. We're going to deep dive into this today, so I don't even want to talk about it right now, because if I start talking about it, I'm going to get excited, and you know what happens when I get excited? I start coaching, I start teaching, I start touching, I start reaching, and then people start saying, oh, Samuel, keep preaching, right? We're going to go to mindset, okay? So if I could take my time, someone write in the chat, take time, right? If I could take my time, someone write in the chat, take time, right? So the first thing we need to fix in order to establish our freedom is actually our mindset. Now, I'm going to tell you the outside of this, and this is what you asked for help a moment ago. I'm going to go into this in a moment, right? What most people don't realize is if you don't fix your mindset to allow you to have freedom, then your mindset will fence out all of your freedom. I'm going to say that again in case you need to pick up your pen. If you don't fix your mindset to allow you to have freedom, then your mindset ultimately will fence out your freedom. That means you will have freedom locked out of a barrier of the mindset that you allow to inhabit your mind. I hope this is helping someone already, right? Because most people don't realize this, and you guys said help, so I'm gonna dig into this in a moment in a way that is gonna hopefully just literally open up some minds in today's session. All right, let's go deeper. And guys, if someone's getting value, just write the word value in the chat, so I know that this is valuable. Let's go. I see the likes literally blowing up on the black platform. We've nearly hit 1,000 likes already, and we're hardly even into this thing. Let's go. We ain't even started the session yet. Let's go. We're still on the prelims. We're on the intros that you guys asked me to give you. Let's go. All right, the love hearts come in from Azian Mobstar. Let me know what your name is so I know who I'm talking to. I'm super old school, right? So I just call people by their names. Let's go. Samuel gives me the value. Let's go. All right, let's go deeper. So mindset is the first one. Now, here's the second one. Most people are not used to this word. We've all heard this word, but many of us don't know what this word means. Now, if I go live for 5 days in a row, like you guys said you want me to, where Mandy said go live, where Semya said go live, where Shah said go live, if I go live for today and the next 4 days as well, I'm going to be deep diving into the second one next, okay? Now, the second one is a word we've all heard, but many of us don't know what it actually means, is marketing, okay? It's marketing. Now, here's something that I want to share with you that's interesting, okay? Here's a question. It's a crazy question. You might not understand the question, but I want you to think about this question so you start realizing what I'm talking about. Why is Donald Trump the president of the United States? Does anyone know why Donald Trump is the president of the United States? Okay, now someone might say, oh, it's because he ran for the office. No, because Hillary Clinton has ran for the office several times and she still hasn't become the president of the United States, okay, or presidentress, if that's a word, right? Guys, do you understand why Donald Trump is the president of the United States of America, right? If you're tracking with me, you literally just got a value bomb. Because you're literally realizing, wow, Samuel, this is deep. Like, you're telling me that there's 5 things I need to focus on in order to establish my freedom, in order to fix my freedom. And you're telling me the first one is mindset, which we're going to deep dive on today. And the second one is marketing. And then you ask this super weird question that looks not connected to anything. And that question is, hey, how is Donald Trump the president of the United States? Oh, someone got it. The reason why Donald Trump is actually the president of the United States is not because of any other reason more important than this second focus that we need to fix, called marketing. 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 Oh, someone's going to get this. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Samuel's got it. Samuel says, what? So their campaign is marketing? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Every human being, whether they know it or not, is marketing every single day. Every human being. Every human being, whether they know it or not, is marketing every single day. And if you're with me on tomorrow's live, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to deep dive into marketing and help you. Let's go further. Now, number 3. Someone put the number 3 in the chat if you're ready for number 3. If you're ready for number 3, someone put the number 3 in the chat if you're ready for number 3. So if I go live for the next 5 days, today we're going to deep dive on mindset. Tomorrow we're going to talk about marketing. And the day after, oh my gosh, someone is ready for this. The day after, oh my gosh, Shah is ready for this. The day after, oh my gosh, Semya is ready for this. The day after, on day 3, we're going to be talking about this concept called managing. Managing is one of the most crucial focuses that every single human being has to happen. Now, you might be thinking, managing, Samuel, what's that got to do with anything? Let me just explain it real quickly. If you have a relationship in your life, important or unimportant, it doesn't make a difference right now. That relationship must be managed. And I'm going to tell you a little secret most people don't realize. Most relationships are managed by accident, okay? Most relationships are managed by accident. So what do you think is the result? Listen to this, right? Have you ever heard the statement, garbage in, garbage out? Have you ever heard the statement, garbage in, garbage out, okay? Garbage in, garbage out, okay? Let's go. Ever heard that? If you've heard that, just put yes in the chat. All right? Garbage in, garbage out. Think about this, okay? I want you to think about it. If you've ever heard the statement garbage in, garbage out, what does that mean? It means the input determines the output. Someone write in the chat the word input. Someone write in the chat the word output. Garbage in, garbage out means the input determines the output. So if you manage relationships by accident, the output of those relationships will be accidental. If someone's getting what I'm talking about, just write in the comments, I'm getting it, I'm getting it. So the third focus that we have to take advantage of to fix, in order for our finances to fix, is actually our managing of relationships, our management. Okay, let's go deeper. If someone's ready, put the number 4 in the chat. Someone put the number 4 in the chat. Now, I'm going to be very transparent with you, because when we get to number 4 and number 5, these 2 focuses are the 2 biggest focuses that stop people from actually producing exponential success. Okay, why? You see, when you go to school, I don't know if you were schooled in the UK. I was schooled in the UK, born and raised in the UK, right? There's something that happens in the UK that most people aren't aware of, right? Here's what happens. You get mismarketed to about the fundamentals. Okay, Samuel, what do you mean you get mismarketed to about the fundamentals? So I used to work in schools. This is how I know this, right? And we do some weird things in schools, okay? We do some weird things. Let me tell you what we do that's weird. We jack people's minds up. Samuel, what do you mean you jack people's minds up? We make people think things that are simple are hard and things that are hard are simple. Samuel, can you give me an example? Of course. You guys ask some great questions. Can I give you an example? Of course. All right. Anyone looking forward for the example? I am. Let's go. A perfect example. Let me even illustrate this for you, because it's going to be even better if I illustrate it for you. I used to teach maths. One of the things we do in maths is super crazy, but I'm going to show it to you, right? We have these questions in maths. If you know any maths teachers, they're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've ever been a maths teacher, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you've ever learned maths in England, you're definitely going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, here's a concept that is taught in maths in schools. Watch this, right? These are called, oh my gosh, my stylist doesn't want to work right now, because my stylist is saying, Samuel, you're teaching too good. Samuel, you're teaching too good. We can't let them get away with this. We can't let them put this in their journals, their iPads, their tablets, their styluses, their pen, paper, and everything we need. We gonna have a problem. Let's go. All right. In maths, in the UK, there's this concept called best by questions. Okay. Now, what most people don't realize is most people think answers are what shape our mind. I'm here to tell you something. If you've never heard this before, please write this down. Answers do not shape your mind, questions do. Okay, someone throw that in the chat. Answers do not shape your mind, questions do. Okay, Samuel, what do you mean questions do? I'm going to show you right now. In maths in school, guess what we do? We teach you to think in certain ways by giving you certain questions and telling you the answers. Then guess what happens? Your life starts unfolding in the way that you ask the questions we gave you, because now they become the questions you start asking of life, and they become the answers you start asking, right? So before I reveal to you what number 4 is, I want to show you this because I want you to see this for yourself, okay? So in maths in school, from primary school to secondary school, even in A levels and in degree level, in the UK, you have what they call best by questions. Let me show you what a best by question is. Here's a typical best by question, okay? You will have, I'm only going to do this because during CV19, this is what everybody was apparently trying to buy, right? So you will have toilet paper, okay? And they'll say these 2 rolls of toilet paper cost £1.75. Let's be nice. Let's call this kitchen roll. Okay, so it's not too expensive for some people, right? So you've got 2 loads of toilet roll or kitchen roll that cost £1.75. Let's call this A. Okay, this is product A. And then you've got product B. Product B is 1 roll of kitchen paper, right? Or kitchen roll, which costs £1. Okay. Now, a best buy question, okay? A best buy question in the UK, a best buy question, I'm loving this, Samuel's getting the jokes right now. A best buy question in the UK would say, which is the best price, okay? Which is the best to buy? Someone tell me in the chat your answer. Is it A or is it B? Which is the best to buy? Is it A or is it B? Okay, is it A or is it B? And I'm gonna help you, right? And look, let me just be very transparent, guys. There is a right answer, okay? There is a right answer. There is a right answer. But the problem is there's a right answer for school and there's a right answer for real life, okay? I need two or three people. I need a few more people to answer, guys. And guys, for those of you who are super quiet inside of the live, I'm seeing you guys. I'm seeing you guys. Listen, every platform tells me who's watching, right? I'm seeing you guys. Shah, throw your answer in. Mandy, throw your answer in. Who's that? Ricardo? Razor? I can't read the name from here. It's a bit far away. But throw your answers in, guys. I want all of you to throw your answers in, right? A or B. And I'm not here to judge you. This is a judgment-free zone. I'm not going to tell you off for your answer. I just want your answer because when you participate, you allow yourself to develop and educate, right? So when you participate, you allow your mind to get developed and to educate, right? So I just want you guys to let me know in the chat. Throw your answer in. There's no discrimination. Don't think of it as the right answer and the wrong answer. I just want you to engage because this is going to help you understand things, okay? This is going to help you understand things, all right? We got Ra32 over on Instagram as well. Just throw your answers in, guys. Throw your answers in. This is going to help you move further, faster in your future. Now, I'm going to reveal, okay? I'm now going to reveal what the accurate answer is, okay? And I'm also going to share what you guys have thrown in as your answers. I'm seeing these answers come through. Let's go, all right? So Semya says A, okay? This is good. Guys, this is good. Just watch this, okay? Shah says A. This is good. Well done, Shah. Appreciate you guys, okay? All right? Semya says what? How, what? Okay? All right? Shah says laugh out loud. And Mandy says A. Now, watch this. I'm going to tell you the right answer. The right answer is it depends. Someone write in the chat, it depends. Now, I'm going to tell you what happens. In schools, we teach you these kind of questions again and again and again. You know why? So you focus on running after the cheapest. Okay? What does this question force your mind to think? Your mind is forced to think that the best buy is the cheapest. So guess what happens? We live in a world where most people are chasing the cheapest. Chasing the cheapest. Let me tell you what one of my coaches told me once, which is super true. They said, if you're the best, no one expects you to be the cheapest. And if you're the cheapest, no one expects you to be the best. So let me tell you what that means. If I've been brainwashed in the school system to focus on the cheapest, guess what that means? That means I will never, ever pursue, participate, or practice being the best. If someone's getting value right now, just write the word value in the chat. We get brainwashed to focus on the cheapest with questions like this in maths, best buy questions. Okay, now let's do this because Semia is very smart. You can tell Semia is very smart. She's done the maths. Hold on a minute. If I get one roll for £1 and two rolls for £1.75, that means if I take B and I get two rolls, I'll have to pay £2. And £2 is more than £1.75. Semia's right mathematically. But the real answer is it depends. It depends on what, Samuel? Let me tell you what it depends on. It depends on what you want to wipe with. Because, guys, I know this is a bit deep, right? But I'm going to keep it real. If the £1.75 rolls are like tracing paper, ladies and gentlemen, I can guarantee you nobody wants to buy the £1.75 rolls regardless of whether they're the cheapest. If that's correct, someone write in the chat, I'm getting it. Guys, I want you to understand how we get brainwashed because some of us don't realize this. You know what we do? We grow up, we go to school, we get educated, we get degree 1, degree 2, degree 3, then we go off to work for some party and we never realize that we've been brainwashed. We've been brainwashed to pursue and practice and perform for the cheapest instead of actually play out the game and go for the best. I would love for you to receive the best. And I'm gonna tell you a little secret. Guys, if it's okay, can I tell you a secret? If I can tell you a secret, just write in the chat the word secret. If it's okay, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. It's a small secret. It's such a small secret, I can only share it with the people in the back. If you guys are ready for the secret, just throw in the chat the word secret and I'll share with you the secret. Because it's a small secret, but I'm gonna tell you the secret. The secret, for those who, oh, you guys don't want the secret. Okay, let's move on then. All right. I know you guys said help earlier, so I know I've got to stick to the plan. Let's go. All right. So guys, here's the key. Best buy questions. Best buy questions are the things that are trying to mess up many of us. And guys, I just literally, I used to be a teacher trainer, guys. I used to teach teachers how to teach. That's how I discovered a lot of this stuff. I just shared with you a little witty brainwash that our school systems have, usually coming through the maths. I specialize in maths, so I see the tricks in maths more than anywhere else, right? So I'm just revealing. Those of you who are English teachers, science teachers, geography teachers, French teachers, you can come in, you can share in the chat the real stuff. I'm just sharing you from the maths perspective, right? Why do you think most people say, "Oh, sir, maths is so hard"? I just don't do well with numbers. You know why you don't do well with numbers? Because they convinced you that the things that are easy are hard and the things that are hard are easy. Let me tell you a little cheat code right now. Do you know that maths is one of the only subjects that's not made up? English is made up. There was a time there was no English. French is made up. There was a time there was no France. Maths has been discovered, not created. I want you to think about that for a moment and realize why maths should be the one subject in school you definitely determine you are going to rule. Because it was here before any of us showed up. So it reveals truths. This is why they say numbers don't lie. You know why? Because they were here before us. Oh, Lord, this is so good. Let's go. And Shah says, interesting. Oh, Shah says, Samuel, you better give me the secret. Samuel says, give me the secret. Okay, let me give you the secret. Here's the secret. Here's the secret, if you guys are ready, okay? The little secret I said I was going to share with you is this. We've been scammed. We've been scammed into believing that we aren't worthy of receiving. But guess what happens when we decide to no longer go on the ride? We can start receiving, we can start achieving because we shift slightly what we've been believing. If that's helpful for someone, just write "for me" in the chat so I know this is helpful for somebody. Let's go. So the fourth of these focuses that we need to focus on. Listen, guys, I feel like I'm going so long right now. I should have just done an intro session and then 5 sessions separately. Oh my gosh, this is so good. So the fourth, right? And I just shared with you guys how they brainwash us with these best buy questions, right? So the fourth of these focuses is our ability to measure, okay? Otherwise known as measuring, okay? Our ability to measure. Measuring is like basically doing the maths. So I'll give you an example, right? If you're someone who's bought into the 40-40-40-40 plan, right? The 40-40-40-40 40-40 plan. Some of you know what the 40-40-40 plan is because you've been on my lives, you've seen this stuff before, okay? Let's go. Okay. I love this. Samuel says, this is for me. I love this. Shah says, this is for me. If you're someone who's joined one of my lives before, okay, guys, wow, we've literally gone past 1,000 likes. Thank you to those of you throwing in the likes. Thank you to those of you on the black platform throwing in the gifts. We appreciate you. We got roses up in here. We got everything popping off. I'm loving this. Let's go. Now, if you're someone who's tuned into one of my lives before, you've heard me talk about the 40-40-40 plan before. If you've never heard me talk about the 40-40-40 plan, someone just write in the chat, what is it? And I'll define it for you. Now, here's the funniest thing. The 40-40-40 plan traps people who have never, ever really perfected their ability to do measuring. Measuring what, Samuel? I'll tell you one of the things we've got to measure. We've got to measure the serious things in our life. We've got to measure the serious. I'll give you an example. Okay, in 2015, I was going to work, waking up at 5:30, 6 a.m. every single morning, getting to school by 7:30 every morning, right? Monday to Friday. And I often say this, teachers, they work overtime, they work under time, they work through the time, they work when there's no time, okay? And that was me. I was a secondary and A-level math teacher. I was also a teacher trainer. I used to teach teachers how to teach. And guess what I discovered? I discovered I'm working so much. Oh my gosh, here we go. It's on and popping. William Andoa says, Mr. Ikimwin, you taught me at Bishop. Always used to drop those business gems in lessons. Oh my gosh, the cat's out the bag. Guys, I want you to understand how real this is. I've got one of my students from one of the schools I worked in literally jumping in the live and sharing real life. Oh, did he make this up? Someone tell me in the chat if I made this up. William, I couldn't have even paid you to show up on this live. Look, oh my gosh, this is so good. William decided to follow the host. William, thank you for following the host. Let's go. Guys, I want you to understand how real this is. I worked in schools and this, William is now telling you guys exactly what I told you on my most recent live last week. I used to literally teach my students in statistics. I used to teach my students in their maths class how to literally go into business, how to literally generate revenue, how to replace their income. I used to teach students this because at the time I wasn't coaching anyone outside of the schools, and I just realized we're giving them a curriculum that is brainwashing them, and I had to literally undo the brainwashing. And then I realized, Samuel, you cannot fix the problem from inside of the machine. Get out of the machine. And that's how I got out of the machine, decided to get clean, and now I'm here on your screen. Oh, if someone's getting value, just pump up the word value in the chat. Let's go. William, thank you for joining the live and bringing it to a whole new dimension by showing the truth. This is real, guys. So let's go deeper, right? The 40-40-40 plan is what most people sign up to. Why? Because they haven't perfected their measuring skills. What's measuring? Measuring is our ability to look at a situation and measure it. Our ability to look at a situation and say, hold on a minute, something's not adding up here. I'll give you an example, right? I was working in schools. I was literally working in the school William was a student in, right? So this is why this is super meta right now, okay? As I was working in the school one day, I literally was sat at my desk and a thought came to me. I had my screen in front of me. I was sat at my desk. It was kind of a recession, like a recess, not a recession, a recess period, right? Where you got like 30, 40 minutes to plan your next lesson, etc. And I'm sat there looking at the screen and this thought hit me in the head. Let me tell you what the thought was. The thought was, where does all the money come from for this stuff? And I started just going down that path, right? I started asking myself, well, hold on a minute. There are over 400 schools in the 33 boroughs of London. And every single one of these schools is funded. Every one of these schools has got money. Every single one of these schools can pay teachers. Where does the money come from? I just asked myself the question. This is the measuring, ladies and gentlemen. This is the measuring I'm talking about. This is the doing the maths I'm talking about. So I just asked myself, where's all this money come from? Then I realized, oh snap, I know where the money comes from. The overwhelming majority of money that goes to the government, because the government pays for all the schools up until the academization, right? But prior to the academization, the government was paying for all the schools. So my question was, well, where does the money come from? Then I realized the money comes from the government. And then I asked myself, well, how does the government make money? And we all know the truth. The government doesn't make money. The government only takes money, okay? Because there are makers and there are takers out there. And the government's not a maker, the government's a taker. So how does the government take money? It takes money primarily at the highest level through taxes. Now, I know some of you are going to be super nice and you're going to say, oh no, but Samuel, it's the parking fines. Oh no, Samuel, it's the congestion charge. Oh no, guys, let me tell you, the congestion charge is new. The parking fines are new. The thing that they've been taking from me and you is taxes from the beginning. Now, Samuel, are you anti-tax? No, I am pro-tax. Why am I pro-tax? Because in the Bible, Jesus said, give unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. So I'm pro-tax because I read the Bible. And the Bible tells me that you should pay tax. So I'm pro-tax. But I want you to understand what tax is before you go pro-tax or anti-tax. That's my stance. My stance is not, you should be pro, you should be anti. My stance is you should know what we're talking about so you can make your own decision. All right? Can we go deeper? If we can go deeper, someone write in the chat, deeper. Let's go. So I'm sat at my desk. I've got the screen in front of me. I'm thinking, and the question is, where's all this money come from? And I realized to myself, hold on a minute, there's over 400 schools in these 33 boroughs, and they're all funded by the government. So I said to myself, okay, they're all funded by the government. Where's the government get the money from? Then I realized, hold on a minute, the government get their money from taxpayers. Now, here's the next question I asked myself, which really made things change for me. The next question I asked myself is, who pays the most tax? Now, let me tell you something. I'm going to draw this for you because I want you to see this super clear, right? If you are let's get a new page. Watch this. If you are a business owner, okay, okay, versus a employee, okay, and you make 70,000 in a year, and so does the employee, who makes more money? Someone tell me in the chat who makes more money. Now, some of you are going to be saying, Samuel, man, how'd you do this, bro? This is a trick question. It's not a trick. It's not a trick. It's obvious. It's obvious. If a business owner and an employee both make 70,000 in a year, who makes more money? Someone tell me in the chat. Who makes more money? Let's see. Let me see if I can bring you guys I don't know if I'm going to have this. I hope I got this. Let's see if we can get the tug of war up in here. All right? Because, guys, I want you guys to tell me who makes more money. We've got a business owner and we've got the employee, okay? Oh, I haven't. I got the assets. This is the other one. This is my assets. Okay, cool. Guys, let me know in the chat, guys. Don't leave me here alone. Yes, this is the wrong tug of war. This is the one for the assets and liabilities. We ain't going to use that. All right, cool. All right, but who makes more money? The business owner or the employee? Someone tell me in the chat, okay? Let's go. Lady Duchess says, greetings and peace. Lady Duchess, welcome to the live. Great to have you on. Let's go. All right. Who makes more money, guys? Guys, don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep on this one. Guys, this live is the live that will change your life if you are tuned in. So don't go to sleep. If you got answers, throw them in. Let's go. Samuel says, I think the business owner. Samuel, you're one of the smartest cookies on this live. Well done, Samuel. 100%, you are correct. Now, just for Samuel, let's do this because I believe in giving honor where honor's due. We're going to give a round of applause for Samuel. Let's go. All right. And whilst that round of applause is going, those of you who have answers, throw your answers in the chat. Is it the business owner or is it the employee? Now Samuel's giving us the answer. Let's go. All right. Here's the reality. Let's break this down because I want you to see this. Okay. The employee who gets paid 70,000 is going to be taxed before they even get that money. Okay. Not only are they going to be taxed before they get that money, being over 50,000, you know, what's going to happen? All right. Dean storytelling specialist. Just coming in. Welcome, Dean, to the live. We're loving having you in there. All right. I love this. You know, when people don't know if something's live, they make silly statements like, oh, this is a video. This can't be a video because your comments on the live. Let's go. All right. Now, Jew, is a great time for you to say, oh, I apologize. This is actually live. I should have taken a moment or two before I theorized, right? Let's go. I see that. Oh, wow. Let's go. I'm loving this. Dean says, sending good vibes from Turks and Caicos. Beautiful place. I've never been yet in my life, but I'm loving this. Let's go. Dean decided to follow the host. Let's go. Oh, I like what you did there. I like what you did there. You trying to get this live banned. I like what you did there. Guys, trolls are creative. Man, trolls are creative. Wow. Guys, can everyone write in the chat the word creative? I never knew trolls could be that creative. Let's go. All right, let's go deeper. All right. Thank you ever so much, Dean. I appreciate you. It's amazing what a simple professional camera can do. Let's go deeper, all right? So an employee generates 70,000, but guess what happens to that employee? They pay tax before they even get the money. So because they pay tax before they even get the money, they end up with a lot less money. Dean throws in the gift. Let's go. Okay. Appreciate the heart me. Let's go, right? And guys, those of you who want to donate, want to give gifts, you know what it is. Let the lives know that this is the kind of life that the platform should share with other people just like you and I. Because I want lots of people like you and I. Oh, that's a donut. Let's go. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever had a donut in a live before, but I appreciate that. I think there was 2. Let's go. Thank you, Dean. Dean is blowing up the live right now. Let's go. All right. So guys, I want you to understand, right? An employee is paid, but before they even get their paycheck, they are taxed. They're taxed before they even get the money. So when I ask the question, who's made more money that year? The answer is, of course, the business owner. Why? Because the business owner at least sees the 70,000 before anything else happens. Okay? Oh, you know what? I got to put this comment up. It just makes me laugh so much. The business owner literally gets to see the money before anything happens. Now, let me show you 2 things real quickly just to help you understand how powerful this is, right? Watch this. A business owner says, I need a car. So you know what they do? They go and buy a car. Let's say they buy a car for 20,000, okay? Let's say they buy a car for 20,000, right? Now they're left with 50,000. Now, here's the thing that's interesting. Most people don't know this. The business owner hasn't paid tax yet. The business owner hasn't paid tax yet. Someone write in the chat, yet, Y-E-T, yet. The business owner hasn't paid tax yet. Why is this so powerful? It's powerful because the business owner buys a car for 20,000 and says, that car is an expense for my business. Let me tell you what happens to the employee. The employee gets paid, tax is taken before they even get the money, and then from after tax money, the employee may desire to buy a car. And that car is not going to be cheaper because your employee. It's going to be exactly the same price if it's the same car. So I don't know if you saw the maths right there, right? Semia says, yeah, she's getting it. If you saw the maths right there, what's happening is this. The employee is paying for things after tax money. The business owner can pay for things before they pay tax on the money. Now, Samuel, can you please tell me why this lesson is empoweringly funny? I'm going to tell you why this lesson is so funny. This lesson is funny because it means the business owner only ends up paying tax on the money left over, whereas the employee ends up paying tax on all the money thereafter. The employee doesn't get a chance. Oh, let's go. Afamiko is in the house. Again, great to have you in the house. Hi, bro. Let's go. All right, let's go. Lady Duchess asked a very powerful question. Lady Duchess says, well, how much will the employee be taxed? The employee will be taxed, in my opinion, the most the government can get. And this is what most people don't realize. Most people think, listen, here's what we got to do. We got to tax the rich more. You do not understand how tax works if you're someone who's saying we got to tax the rich more. Because, okay, guys, can I reveal to you the system? I've literally gone way off of the plan for today's live. It's okay. I'm going to be here for another 4 or 5. But guys, if I can reveal to you the system, just write in the chat the word system, system, system. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to reveal to you the whole system. I'm going to reveal to you the whole system. And you're going to realize why certain people on the internet who were saying, oh, we just tax the rich more and everything's going to be fixed, never work. I'm going to show you why it never works. It never works. Someone even in the chat, right, never works, right? I'm going to show you exactly why it never works. I need to see the word system show up at least 5 times if you guys want me to break down the system. And guys, it takes literally 2 minutes for me to break down the system so you guys can have a clear understanding. Oh, snap. Samuel, this is how it works? Samuel, this is what's been going on? Samuel, it's been like this all along? Samuel, I never knew. My mama and my papa never told me it was like this. Let me tell you why. Because your mama and papa never knew. My mama and papa never knew. They never knew the system worked like this. And I'm not some happy-go-lucky bunny that I discovered this because I'm a genius. No. Yes, I studied 4 degrees, but it weren't the degrees that made me see. The reason I was able to discover this is because I read the Bible. The Bible literally outlines this. And it made me realize, wow, what, this is in the Bible, the best-selling book over the last centuries? How comes nobody's talking about this? I'll tell you why nobody's talking about this. Because everybody's instead interested in talking about things that are minors. And one of my first coaches told me, Samuel, do not major on minors and do not minor on majors. Oh, someone needed to write that down inside of their journal. Let's go. Samuel says, give me the system. Samuel says, Samuel, I want to know. Okay, let me share with you the system. Let's go. Let's go. Samuel got the round of applause so far. So I'm gonna share with you guys because she's the only one who got a round of applause. So let me show it for you, right? If you guys are ready, just write in the chat, ready, ready, ready. Watch this, all right? Ready. I'm going to share this with you. Ready. Here's the system. The system is, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, you focus on one thing, okay? Now, I'm gonna call this one thing something. You guys are not gonna necessarily get this, but it's okay. I'm using this to help you understand, because most people don't understand most of the words that we use. Okay, as one of my coaches often says, we all have the same dictionary. Sorry, we all have the same vocabulary, but we all have a different dictionary. What does that mean? That means we all use the same words, but we don't know what they actually mean. All right. So I'm gonna use a word to define something, but I don't want you to think about the word. I just want you to understand what I'm saying. Okay. An entrepreneur or a business owner focuses on one thing. What is that? That is the sales of their products or services. Okay, that's the sales of their products or services. Now, if you are a swimming instructor, what do you focus on? You focus on instructing people to swim. Okay, so I wrote sales, and I know some of you are going to think sales, selling. No, don't think about that. Just think about providing a service, right? Because I don't believe sales is a sleazy word like most people. I believe sales is service, right? You serve people and they see the value, so they purchase your products. Okay, Samuel, what do you mean? This is what I mean. Hyundai put adverts on the TV saying, my car is this, my car is that, my car is this, my car is that. And after you've seen enough of those adverts, what do? You go and buy a Hyundai. Why? Because they served you with a visual, a picture of what your life could be with their car. Okay, so sales is service. Okay, and all business owners or entrepreneurs, you know what they do? They focus. Richard, please, man. Listen, Richard, I know the spelling isn't on point right now, but here's what I'm going to ask you to do. At least come with the right energy, bro. At least come with the right energy. When people jump into a live for the first time, come with the right energy, guys. Like, listen, guys, even if you don't feel like something's for you, at least come with the right energy. All right? Oh, guys, I'm done. Let's go. Let's go. Wisdom says, can I pay anyone's bill? DM, God is good. Let's go. All right? Oh, Afamiko's got it. They sell you a dream like Disney. Yes. Now, let me ask you this question. Are there many people that go to Disneyland and then ask for their money back? The answer is no. Are there many people that buy a Hyundai car and ask for their money back? The answer is no. Now, when is the answer no? The answer is no when you fulfill the service that you have sold. The answer is yes when you do not fulfill the service that you have sold. I love this. Afamiko says never. They never ask for their money back. Let me tell you why they never ask for their money back. Because the dream they show you, the dream they sell you, they know they can fulfill. So all they need you to do is take the step of faith and say, I'm going to buy my ticket for Disneyland, or I'm going to buy my ticket and fly to Panama, or I'm going to buy my ticket. As long as you take the step of faith, if the person serving literally shows you something of value and they can fulfill that value, guess what happens? You're happy, they're happy, everyone's happy. So sales is not a negative thing. Sales is actually a very positive thing. Why? Because nothing happens in this world until something gets sold. That's the reality. There are authors in this world who could not write their books in 3 days, 30 days, 300 days if a laptop was not sold to them. I want you to think about this. Okay? So something has to get sold. But here's the system. Samuel asked for the system. So I got to give you the system, right? The system is, if you're an entrepreneur or business owner, you focus on one thing. What is that? The sale and service of your product, right? If you're a swimming instructor, you focus on providing swimming lessons for your students. Now, let me tell you where this gets super powerful. Here's the system. Because you focus on one thing, guess what you realize? You realize, especially if you're good, you realize I'm really good at what I do, which means I'm really not that good at what other people do. Okay? If this makes sense, someone just write in the comments, I'm getting it. Because if you get this concept, when I start outlining the system, you're going to get the whole thing straight away, right? So did what I just said make sense to you? If you're getting it, just write, I'm getting it. Samuel, I'm getting it, okay? A business owner or an entrepreneur, the Bible says humility comes before honor. Do you know what humility is? Humility is being aware of where you are not a professional. Humility is being aware of where you are not an expert. Humility is understanding I am so good at what I do that I am probably no good at what you do. Okay? So that's humility. Now, why is this important? Because the Bible says humility comes before honor. What's honor? Honor is being lifted up. Honor is being elevated. Honor is being taken to a whole new level. Okay? I hope you guys are understanding this. Let's go. All right? Afro Nico says, and selling your dream is their products. That's 100%. Okay? Because if you are providing value, the value you provide is what people desire. So it's a match made in heaven. That's why selling is service. Okay? But let's go deeper into this. Samia said she wanted the system. Let me give you guys the system. Okay? I love this. Samia says, this makes sense. Okay? So let me explain it to you. Okay? Let me explain it because I want you guys to really get this. Now let me give you the system. Entrepreneurs and business owners, especially those who are good, focus on one thing. Maybe if they're a serial business owner, they focus on a few things, but typically they're focusing on one thing. Now, what does that help them do? That helps them become humble. It helps them realize, I'm no good at accounting. Let's put that as an example, okay? I'm no good at accounting. It helps them realize, I'm no good at law, legals. Excuse me, I used to spell, now I just read about it. Okay, helps them realize I'm not good at accounting. I'm not good at law. Okay, helps them realize they're not good at certain things. Okay, now let me tell you why that's valuable. Because if you realize you're not good at something, what are you gonna do? Okay, let's put admin on here. ADM. Okay, I'm not good at admin. What if you realize you're not good at something? What are you gonna do? I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna pay someone to do it. Let me tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna find the best people who can do it. Let me tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna instruct someone else to do it. Now, I want to tell you a secret. Samia said she wanted the system. I'm going to tell you the secret. The secret is the system. Hope you're ready for this. The secret to the system is if you think like an employee, guess what you do? You think you are going to do it all by yourself, because that's what employees do. Most bosses are trying to get each employee to overwork and get underpaid. Samia even said that earlier. But entrepreneurs and business owners realize, I'm really good at this one thing, which means I'm really lousy at these other things. So guess what they do? They humble themselves and they pay people better than them in these other areas. So what's the system? Let me tell you what the system is. The system is every smart entrepreneur has someone smarter than them dealing with the other areas of their business. What does that mean? Whether they outsource it or they get the people in-house, they typically are paying people to do the stuff they can't do. And those people typically are smarter and better in it than me and you. Now, why is that important? I'm going to tell you why it's important. Because when you say, oh, you need to pay 70,000, oh, let's use this example. You need to pay £70,000 worth of tax. Guess what the business owner does? The business owner says, I'm not smart enough to figure this out, so I'm going to hire an accountant. And they might pay the accountant $2,000. But guess what that accountant's going to do? That accountant is going to show them how they can save, how they can claw back, how they can, oh Lord. That accountant is going to be way worth more than the $2,000 we pay them for. That accountant is going to be the reason that a business owner can go pay for a $20,000 car before they pay tax. That accountant, oh my gosh, this is so powerful. Oh, Lord. Afrimiko says, you can learn and improve yourself and do it yourself. Yes, you can learn and improve yourself and do it yourself, but that's an employee's mindset. And that's why employees are often, unfortunately, I don't want to say it like this, but financially they're broke. Because the hardest workers don't get paid the highest rates. And it's not they don't get paid the highest rates because they're not smart, ladies and gentlemen. It's not they don't get paid the highest rates because they can't, ladies and gentlemen. It's not they don't get paid the highest rates because they're focused on the wrong things. Listen to what Afrimiko just said. Oh, I can learn how to do it. I can learn how to be my own accountant. I can learn how to be my own admin. I can learn how to be my own lawyer. Of course you can. You're a smart cookie. I'm smart. I studied 4 degrees. I could learn all that stuff. But guess what? By me learning all that stuff, guess what I'll be doing? I'll be taking time away from becoming a specialist in the one thing that I provide for my audience. And guess what I do? When I take time away from focusing on the one thing that I provide for my audience, I'm also taking my opportunity away from generating enough income to pay my accountant, to pay my solicitor, to pay my administrators. If someone is getting value from what I'm talking about, literally just write the word value in the chat. I can literally feel like this is a live where people are like, Samuel, you just changed the game for me, okay? I literally can feel like people are in this live saying, Samuel, you are literally changing my life today in a way you have not before. Guys, I just want to be transparent with you. I want to tell you, like, guys, you learn a lot when you work in schools. Why? Because schools are the ecosystems. They are the hubs for controlling people's minds before they even are old enough to understand what was done to them. A job was done on us, ladies and gentlemen. And I was part of that job, unfortunately. And guess what? That's why I go live, guys. That's why I have people like William, people that were students in my school, coming on the live saying, hey, Mr. Kim, when you used to teach me. Why do you think people that know me from school understand that I'm a person who cares about people? Because I've gone through this, guys. I've been part of the problem and I can't be part of the problem anymore. I've got to tell people the truth for sure. I want you to think about this. Let's go. The comments are blowing up. All right, comments are blowing up. Oh, I love this. Semya said it. Aframiko, I agree, but you can't do everything on your own as a business owner. She's so right. Listen, let me even be honest with you guys. You can't do everything on your own, even as an employee. It's a myth. It's a myth that they want us to believe. Why? Because if we believe this myth, guess what we do? We keep focusing on trying to do everything ourselves. Let me tell you something. The most successful people in this world, do you know why they're successful? They're successful because they leverage. Oh, this is so good. I'm so off the notes, but let's keep going, all right? If someone wants a quick lesson on leverage, just write me in the chat. If someone wants a quick lesson on leverage, just write the word me in the chat. If I get enough me's, I'll give you a quick lesson on leverage. Let's go. So I want you guys to understand how this works. Now, let's get back to the notes, all right? So I don't end up spending 5 days going live and have to do 5 more because I didn't even go through the stuff I wanted to share with you, right? And if enough people put me in the chat, then I'll go through exactly what... whatever I was saying I was going to go through. I can't remember what it is now. All right, let's go. The me's are coming in and I can't even remember what I was going to do. All right, let's go. Now, let's cover this real quick, right? So what I was saying to you is when you learn how to measure, which is the 4th focus, what happens is you stop getting focused on the 40-40-40 plan and you start realizing to yourself, hold on a minute, the 40-40-40 plan can't scam me anymore. Why? Because I've realized now that I got to ask myself the hard questions. And some of the hard questions is, why would I work 40 hours a week for 40 weeks in a year in order for me, let's underline this so you see what I'm talking about. Why would I work 40 hours in a week for 40 weeks in a year in order for me to work for 40 years in order to get to the end of my life and hope and pray that I can live on 40% of my best income? 40% of the income from my best year. That's the 40-40-40 plan, ladies and gentlemen. Now, here's a good question, right? You start realizing how this works. You start realizing what you want and what you don't want. You start realizing how you have to change things so that it works appropriately for you, right? So that's number 4, okay? That's number 4. That's what you guys have said you wanted, number 4, right? Semyon says, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but it's what most people do. It's ridiculous, but it's exactly what most people do, okay? Let's go deeper. Now, the first focus is mindset. The second focus is marketing. The third focus is managing. The 4th focus is measuring. And here's the 5th focus. If you're ready for the 5th focus, throw the number 5 in the chat. And in 4 days from now, on the 5th day of these lives, I will go live and do a deep dive on the 5th focus that if you fix, your finances will be fixed. Your freedom will be fixed. Your relationships will be fixed. Your health and wealth will be fixed. So if you're ready for that, throw the number 5 in the chat. Let me see some 5s in the chat. 5s in the chat so I can share with you number 5. Because the first one is mindset. The second one is marketing. The third one is managing. The 4th one is measuring. And the 5th one, for those of you who are ready, the 5th one, for those of you who are steady, is maturing. These are the 5 things. Let's get this G properly. These are the 5 things that if you focus on fixing, your finances, your health, your wealth, your relationships will unlock in a way they've never been unlocked before. Now, we really went deep dive. I think we've been over an hour already. This is super powerful, right? But we really went deep dive. So what I'm going to do, because we really went deep dive, I want to go even deeper. Here's what I want to do. I want us to get to 3,000 likes. I see those likes coming in. Let's go to 3,000 likes. And straight after we go to 3,000 likes, I'm going to jump into discussing mindset, okay? I'm gonna jump into discussing mindset. I never planned to be on this live this long, but I want to give you guys extreme value. I want you guys to leave this live knowing that Samuel didn't just set the foundation, but he literally showed you how to start really unpacking this for your future, okay? So if someone's getting value for the word value in the chat, we're nearly there. We're at 2,900 likes, so it's just like 100 more. Let's go. Let's make it happen, all right? So let's get to 3,000 likes. And the moment we get to 3,000, someone just write in the chat 3,000, because sometimes I miss the counter because some of the stuff on the black platform is a little bit small on my screen. Now, here's what we're going to do. I've shared with you that there are 5 focuses. If you fix these 5 focuses, and I've kind of given the overview, I wanted to go deep dive into one. And depending on if we hit 3,000, I think we're probably there already. Let's go. We are at 3,100 likes. So we hit 3,000, right? So I'm going to go right now into a deep dive into the first of these 5 focuses. Now, the first is mindset. Someone throw the word mindset in the chat, okay? And I'm going to share with you how to literally develop, deploy, and literally Uncover your mindset. I see the fires all over the screen. That means someone's throwing fire in the chat. Who's that? Zay1, let's go. All the fires, all the fires, all the fires, and the AOK. Let's go. I love that, all right? Zay1 says mindset. Zay1, let me know your name so I know who I'm addressing in the live as well. I'm super old school, so I just got to do names up in here. Let's go. All right, so let's talk about the mindset, okay? So Zay1's already put it in the chat. Let's talk about mindset, okay? Now, the reason we want to talk about mindset is because mindset is the first of the 5 focuses that will shift your future and take you to a whole nother level in your life. Jeffrey in the house. Jeffrey, welcome to the live. We appreciate you. Now, Jeffrey, are you following? Oh, guys, let me even ask the question, because I forgot to even ask this, and we started at the beginning. I do this all the time. Guys, if you haven't hit follow, if you haven't hit subscribe, depending on the platform you're on, if you haven't hit like, if you haven't hit share just to show that you care, now is the time to do it right here. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all of those beautiful things that the platform you're on allows you to do, and let's move further faster in your future through this live. Let's go. All right, Jeffrey, thank you for reminding me to do that. Now, as we go deeper, right, we're going to talk about mindset. Today, we'll talk about mindset. Tomorrow, by the grace of God, I'll go live. We'll talk about marketing. The day after, hopefully, by the grace of God, I'll go live. We'll talk about managing. The day after, by the grace of God, hopefully I'll go live. We'll talk about measuring. And then the last of the 5, we'll talk about maturing. Now, these are the 5 things you need to focus on in order to fix your finances, your freedom, your health, your wealth, your relationships. And it starts with mindset. Now, Samuel, it starts with mindset. What do you mean? There are 3 factors that you need to focus on specifically in your mindset in order for your life to improve. Someone write in the chat the word improve, improve, improve. Now, here's the first one. For most people, this is where they already go wrong. They don't focus on the first thing that will cause their mindset to become strong. What's the first thing? The first thing that you need to do, Jamie, thank you for following the host. I appreciate you. That is absolutely beautiful. Jamie decided to follow the host. Now let's go. The first thing you need to do is have a mindset of development. Okay? A mindset of development, a developmental mindset. Okay? Samuel says you got to improve, right? And development is that process of improving. Development is what helps you move further faster in your future. If you have a mindset that you don't believe in developing, guess what? You are on the wrong side of the ledger. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is my studio. Right behind me are a myriad of books. Now, look, I'm going to say this. Granted, this is my book, okay? This is my dissertation from one of my degrees out of the 4 I studied. But outside of that one book, that's mine, all of these books, and the books go from beyond where the camera angle is, right? Beyond where the lens picks up, right? This is a 50mm for those of you who want to know, right? Apologies, guys. It's late, so I'm playing, right? So from over here, I got books, right? All the way to past, again, the 50mm lens, right? Books, all the way over there, right? Now, this is the top row. You can't even see the second row. I've got a whole nother row under of books. And all my books are color-coded in all the different places in the studio, right? But this is the blue set, right? So you just got blue all the way to these orange color, right? Up here. Down here, you got brown, whites, and then it gets to like the shade of blue. So this is kind of like a circular, color-coded bookshelf, right? This is one of my set of books, right? I got books. Look, guys, let me even show this because I haven't set up all the cameras. Actually, I can do this. Let me show you this. I'm not over there, but I'll show you my vibe board, right? So you guys can see this. Now, over there, right? Over there, I'm not over there, but you can see over there. Should I come over there? Should I come over there? Let me come over there and show you, right? Let me come over there and show you. Now, in this part of the studio, for those of you who want to know, in this part of the studio, this is my teaching studio. This is my vibe board, right? For those of you who are on the platform that have not ever done any coaching or stuff, right? You wouldn't know this, right? But this is the other side of my studio. In this side of the studio where I have my vibe board, I got books all here. You can't see those, right? But you see right here, this is a whole nother bookshelf of all other books, okay? All other books. This is not 2 rows, this is 1 row, because the bottom row is all CDs, DVDs, audio programs, tapes, cassettes, etc., right? I got chunky stuff here, but this is like reference material. But I got just shelves of books, right? So someone write in the chat, books, okay? Books, CDs, DVDs, write those kind of words in the chat. Why? Because they are all signs of development, ladies and gentlemen. They're signs of development, okay? If you look here, this is past the bookshelf. This is the last set of the books, the orange, right? When you get here, look at this. You see this? This is a book tote. This is a book tote. What do you mean book tote? I'm going to show you my other one because this is one and it's full up. I'm going to show you another one, right? Because I want you to see this, right? Samuel has a development mindset. Now look, I'm leaning over. Here's another one. This is a book tote. What's that? It's a box I get which I fill full of books. Why? So wherever I go in my studio, I take my book tote. Why do I take my book to? Because I want to be reading. Because readers are leaders. And leaders are readers. Look, let me tell you what I've got in here. I got highlighters in here, okay? I got Post-its and 3x5 cards in here. Why? Because when I read, I take notes. When I read, I underline, I highlight. When I read, I write. You know why? Because I have a development mindset. Let's go. Oh, look, let's go this. Samuel says, I love a good read. Okay, let's go. Samuel says, we got a whole library in here. Yes, we do have a whole library in here. I want to show you something though. I want you guys to see this, okay? Because it's one thing for me to just tell you. If I don't show you, it's like you guys could think, oh, he's a hypocrite. I want to show you. I want you to see how real this is. Okay, in a minute, let me even show you my Bible in a minute, right? But before I even do that, look, just look at this, guys. This is a book I'm reading. You can see I've written in this book. I've highlighted in this book. I've written in different colors in this book. Do you know why? Because I have a mind of development. Someone write in the chat the word development. If you want to have the right mindset, you will do well to have a mindset which is a development-based mindset. Here's my Bible. Let me just show you what I'm talking about, right? This is my Bible. Look, I'm just going to show it to you like this, right? Look at this. Okay, here's my Bible, and you can see Post-its, highlighting, pen, drawings, everything in here. Okay, why? Because you have to have a developmental mindset in order for you to become free. John chapter 8 verse 32 in the Bible, it says, you will know the truth and the truth will make you free. Most people are trying to make themselves free. I'm here to tell you a secret, everybody. You cannot make yourself free. The only thing that makes anybody free is the truth. You need to discover the truth. Let's go. Samuel says, self-development is key. The first thing that you will get value from doing is having a development-based mindset. Someone write in the chat the word development. Okay? Now, Samuel, how did you discover this? Samuel, you're so smart. How did you figure this out, Samuel? I'm going to tell you how. In the Bible, there's a simple verse. It's found in Matthew chapter 7, verse 7. Now, the reason it's easy for me to remember is because my favorite number 7, right? So Matthew chapter 7, verse 7. What does it say? It says something so simple. You've probably heard it before. It says, ask and it shall be given to you. It says, seek and you shall find. It says, knock and the door shall be opened. Watch this. Ask, seek, knock. Which spells? Ask. You see, I discovered that verse a number of years ago, and guess what that verse helped me do? That helped me discover that I need to have a developmental mindset. I have to have a mindset where I don't assume that I know everything. I have to have a mindset where I don't expect for me to know everything. I have to have a mindset, oh my gosh, Zay1 decided to follow the host. Thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate you. Okay? I had to discover that it's not about what I think. It's not about what I know. Why? Because I can always ask. Because I can always seek. Because I can always knock. Oh, if this is helping someone, just write me in the chat if this is helping someone. So we need to have a development-based mindset. It will help us. It will help us extremely. It will help us extraordinarily. Guys, I'm telling you, you will produce so much more results in every area of your life when you start having a developmental mindset. When you stop thinking to yourself that you know everything and you start investing in yourself so you can start to know some more things. There are people out here. Guys, listen, there's so many stories I could tell. I'm going to end up off track. Let me just stop. Let me just stop. Should I stop or should I keep going? Someone write in the chat stop or someone write in the chat start. Let me know. Look, my candle is literally burning out how much we doing this in here. Let's go deeper, right? So the first thing is you should have a development-based mindset. Then there's a second layer to this. I want you to understand this layer because this layer is probably the most important layer. As you start to develop your mindset to be a development-based mindset, okay, the next thing you want to have is a mindset that is focused on depth, okay? A mindset that's focused on depth. Samuel, what do you mean a mindset that's focused on depth? I'm so glad you asked. You guys are so smart. Let's go deeper, right? You may not know this, but I'm going to tell you a secret, okay? Someone tell me in the chat, right? How many directions, let me ask you this seriously. How many directions, just throw your number in the chat. And guys, remember, on my lives, there's no right or wrong answer. There's just your answer, okay? So this is a judgment-free zone. There's no, oh, you're wrong. We're going to put you in the silly people's corner. There is no silly people's corner. There's just this world that we live in, right? But here's my question. How many directions does a tree grow in? Someone tell me in the chat. How many directions does a tree grow in? This is going to be super helpful to help us move further faster in this session, all right? Because we're going to be talking about depth, okay? We're going to be talking about depth, a simple concept about depth, right? So someone tell me in the chat, how many directions does a tree grow in? Because I'm going to use this to help you guys understand something about depth that most people have no idea about, okay? And guys, remember, there's no right or wrong answer. Listen, guys, let me even say this, right? If you write your answer and your answer is actually wrong, that's good for you. Guess why? Because you're going to learn that you will then know something that you didn't know before, okay? So someone let me know in the chat, how many directions does a tree grow in, okay? How many directions does a tree grow in? I'm genuinely intrigued, all right? Thoughts from the River joined, welcome to the live. Lanks 101 joined, welcome to the live. Raw_32 joined, welcome to the live. So many people joining the live on all these different platforms. Guys, whichever platform you're on, I really appreciate you joining the live. If you're getting value, feel free to write the word value in the chat. If you haven't hit like, you know what to do. Hit that like, hit subscribe. Become a part of our tribe, and let's do what we do. Let's go deeper. All right, guys, so I'm seeing some answers coming in, I believe. Let's see what you guys are saying. Okay, I love this. I love this. All right, Semya, you are a warrior, right? Because you are so brave. Okay, and so many people they jump on live. They want to sit in the corner and, oh yeah, I'm just gonna listen. I'm just gonna listen. They have answers in their head, but they don't write them down, right? And here's the funniest thing: if you want to grow in your life, let me tell you what you got to do. Even if your answers are wrong, you have to at least express them. Guess why? Because then you have a 50-50 chance of learning, oh, I was wrong, now I'm not wrong anymore. Why? That's how you have a developmental mindset. A developmental mindset is one that develops. Do you know what part of development is? It's actually expression, so you can develop from your expression, okay? Hopefully this is helping. All right, let's go deeper, all right? I love that. Semyon says, yeah, I actually had no idea. I just wanted to guess. And that is how we all start, okay? I've got a 1-year-old, right? Let me tell you about my 1-year-old. I've got 6 children. My youngest is a 1-year-old. Let me tell you about my 1-year-old. He has no idea how to walk until he just guesses how to walk. And then guess what happens? By the time he gets to 10 months, he can walk, just like all his 5 older siblings, just like his daddy and his mummy, okay? Guess what? My 1-year-old had no idea how to talk, but guess what he did? He guessed. You see, this is the problem we have in society. In society, we think we're gonna learn a different way to how children learn. And guess what we do? We close ourselves away from children by throwing them in nurseries and throwing them in schools so we don't ever get to see them. And guess what we do? We forget how to learn. Let me tell you how we learn. We learn the same way we've always learned, by making an attempt and saying, I fell over and now I have to stand back up. And sometimes, if we're wise, we put ourselves around people that when we fall over with their support and they can help us stand back up. Oh, someone's catching this. Let's go deeper. So, Semya said, I think that trees grow in one direction, they grow upwards, okay? I'm going to tell Semya something which hopefully you can all learn from, everyone who's lurking in the back, all right? Jeffrey, I know you're here, Jeffrey. Who else is here? Shah, I know you're here, Shah. And all the others who are still here in the live, right? Let me go into this. Trees do not grow in one direction, okay? I'm gonna give you a little cheat code. Trees grow in multiple directions, okay? If you would like to know a few of the directions trees grow in, just write in the chat, me, so I know you guys would like to know. And I'm gonna give you a little lesson here, which will take literally less than 3 minutes. But once I finish this lesson, guess what? You're gonna be the smartest person you know around anyone else you talk to about the growth of trees, right? Literally, because this science lesson is crucial and key to the depth of your mindset, okay? And the problem most people have is they have no depth in their mindset because they don't understand how depth is created. They don't understand how depth is developed. So even if you're someone who cracks the code and starts to have a developmental mindset, if you don't understand how to build depth into your mindset, your development will literally be in vain, all right? So let me see the word me. Let me see a few me's throw up in the chat so I know you guys are still with me, and then I'm gonna go deeper into some of the directions. I'll give you 3. I don't know. You guys can tell me in the chat. 3 or 5. I don't know how much you guys want to unpack today. I'll give you 3. I'll give you 3. So it's not too deep. And then from there, we'll go into the last aspect of the mindset before we wrap up for today. All right, let's go. All right, so guys, throw your answers in the chat. All right. What are we looking for? We're not asking the question, how many directions do trees grow, because we've already got that. So just throw the me in the chat for those of you who want me to share a few directions that trees grow in, all right? Throw the me in the chat for those of you who want me to share a few directions that trees grow in, okay? And then we're going to do that, and then straight after we do that, we'll go into the third of the mindsets that we need to focus on. All right, let's go. All right, Semya says me. I see. Semya says me. So let's go into this right now. All right, so here's a few of the directions a tree grows, just to help you guys, right? Trees have a very powerful property, okay? Now, I'm going to share, Semya said, I'm gonna go from what Semya said to help us first, right? Because this is the one that probably most of us think about, okay? Semya says 1 upwards, okay? So watch this, right? The property Semya's talking about, growth that goes upwards, okay? This is a tree, and the tree grew upwards, okay? This is called phototropism, okay? Phototropism, okay? So phototropism, Samuel, what does that mean? That's a long word. Okay, so let me explain it to you, okay? If you've ever heard of the word photosynthesis is basically a property which occurs with light. So what does phototropism mean? It means growth in the direction of light, okay? So where's the sun? The sun is up. So trees grow up. So Samuel's right, okay? One of the ways a tree grows is upwards. Why? Because we have phototropism, okay? So it goes up. Phototropism means it grows in the direction of the light, and the light is up, so it grows up, okay? If everyone's with me, just write, I am in the chat, so I know you guys are following, okay? Because I don't want to get there. I don't want you to get confused, okay? So phototropism is one of them. Now, before a tree grows up, a tree first grows, someone tell me in the chat, okay? Because before we can ever get fruit, we first have to have that tree producing, oh, someone's getting it, okay? So before a tree grows up, the tree actually has to first grow down, okay? You guys are so sharp. Semya says, before we get fruits, we first have to get roots. You got it, okay? Simply Kate. Kate, let me know if that's your name. Is it Kate? All right, Kate comes in. Kate says, you got to get roots. You guys have got it. Before we get fruits growing up in the direction of light, we first have to get roots growing down in the direction of dark. Oh, someone's going to catch this. Now, let me tell you what's powerful, right? We have phototropism. Phototropism is growth. This is not neat enough. So I don't like this, guys. Sorry, okay? I'm just going to rewrite this. I just want it to be clear because I want you guys to get this, all right? Phototropism. There we go, okay? It's not much better. We're getting there. There we go. All right, phototropism, right? So phototropism is growth a tree has in the direction of light. So that's growing up, just like, thank you, Kate, I appreciate you. All right, Kate says, yes, that's me, I'm Kate, let's go, all right? So Semya's actually absolutely correct. One direction a tree grows in is upwards, in the direction of light. That's called phototropism, right? But a tree, before we get fruit, we first have to get roots. So a tree also grows down, okay? Now, this is a property called gravitropism. Gravitropism. Now, here's a question. What does that sound like? Gravitropism. What does that sound like? What word that all of us know does that sound like? Someone tell me what word does gravitropism sounds like a word that we all know. What's the word we all know that sounds like gravitropism, right? Someone let me know. Oh, there we go. Kate's got it. Kate says gravity. Kate, you are 100% correct, okay? Kotima comes in, says gravity, you are 100% correct. Kotima, let me know if I'm pronouncing your name appropriately. If I'm not, let me know what your name is so I can pronounce it properly, right? So guys, you guys have got this, right? So a tree grows in more than one direction, okay? So Samuel, thank you ever so much for being the boldest person to throw an answer in, but a tree grows in more than one direction. It doesn't just grow upwards. Upwards is what we call phototropism. It's a property that means we grow in the direction of the light, okay? Komutima, welcome to the live. I appreciate you. Okay, so trees grow up in the direction of light. They don't actually even grow up. They just grow in the direction of light. Okay, so some of you are literally learning right now. Wow, it's true. So a tree doesn't grow upwards. It just grows in the direction of light. Yes, and the biggest light out there is the sun. So they grow upwards because of that. All right, I hope you guys are getting this and catching this. And wow, like I know some of you guys are literally being blown away. But let's go deeper. All right. All right, let's go. King Shah says, what's the topic here? The topic here is the 5 things you need to fix in order for you to have true freedom, okay? And we're talking about the one thing today, which is the mindset. And then tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the second thing. And then the day after, we're going to talk about the third thing. The day after, we're going to talk about the fourth thing. The day after, we're going to talk about the fifth thing. But today, we're talking about the mindset. The one thing you need to fix in order to have true freedom. True freedom in your finances, true freedom in your health, true freedom in your wealth, true freedom in your relationships will come when you fix these 5 things. And we're talking about the 3 things you need to focus on in the mindset. The first one we said was development. Someone write in the chat the word development. And the second one I'm talking about now is called depth. Okay, depth, D-E-P-T-H, right? So that's all in the notes for those of you who are jumping in late, okay? Just so you know, that's all in the notes, but we're getting there deeper anyway. Now, we're using this scientific example to help all of us understand how this works. How do I have depth in my mindset? Well, this is how you have depth in your mindset. You first understand that where most people think mindsets are things that grow up, Samuel's showing you that mindsets are not things that grow up. Mindsets are things, before we have fruits, we first have to have roots. So depth, growing down, is more important than us growing up. Oh, if someone's catching this, just put yes in the chat. Kate, thank you for deciding to follow the host. Let's go, all right? Before we grow up, we first have to grow down. Before we have phototropism, we first have to have gravitropism. What's gravitropism? It's growing in the direction of gravity. Kate got it, okay? You guys have got this, right? I love this, okay? Komutima got it, right? Kate got it. You guys got it. Gravity, yes. The reason gravitropism is a property of a tree is because a tree grows in more than one direction, okay? A tree grows, Semia goes, wow, this is good. Thank you, Semia, I appreciate you, right? A tree grows in more than one direction. A tree doesn't just grow up in the direction of light, it also grows down in the direction of gravity, okay? Now, why is this important? I'm going to tell you why this is important. This is why I read books. This is why I study. This is why I invest in training. This is why I have a coach. This is why I do all of the things I do. You know why? Not because I think it's a great idea. Thank you, Komu Tima, for following the host. That's not why I do that stuff. I'll tell you why I do that stuff. I do all that stuff because I don't just want to have a mindset of development. I also want to have a mindset of depth. And I understand that depth is not about what people see. You guys are on a live right now with me, and you might be thinking, like Semia said, wow, this is good. Samuel, you're so smart. You know all of this stuff. Guys, let me tell you something. The only reason I can show up with all of the stuff you're seeing, the fruit, is because I've spent so many years developing my root. Oh, if someone's happy, just write the word root in the chat. If you guys are getting what I'm talking about, write the word root in the chat, R-O-O-T. And let me see if you're rocking with me. Let's go deeper. So we have phototropism, which is growth in the direction of light. We have gravitropism, which is growth in the direction of gravity. But there's more. Someone write in the chat, there's more, okay? Now, most people don't know this, but I'm gonna share this with you because I want you to understand this, right? Trees also have another property which most people don't realize, okay? And I'm gonna just draw this, right? I'm gonna highlight this area, and I'm gonna, in a minute, you're gonna know what this area is, okay? Trees also have a property called chemotropism. Okay? Chemotropism. Now, someone might be thinking, Samuel, chemotropism, what is chemotropism? Simply Kate says, there is more. Let me give you the more. Chemotropism is growth against the direction of chemicals. Okay? Chemotropism, Motorola phone. Wow, Motorola, boy. That brings back memories from when I was a child. Motorola phone decided to follow the host. Motorola phone, thank you for following the host. Motorola phone, let me know what your name is. I'm super old school, so I like calling people by their name. So let me know what your name is so I can address you properly and thank you properly. Let's go deeper. So trees grow in multiple directions. One direction they grow is phototropism, in the direction of light, okay? You've heard of photosynthesis, okay? It's a characteristic of light, okay? Semia says, okay, let's go, all right? Gravitropism is a second property of tree growth because without no root, you will have no fruit. So a tree has to grow downwards as well in the direction of gravity. Okay, you guys are getting this. Now, chemotropism is another property of trees. It grows, a tree will grow, and then if it gets to a chemical, you know what it will do? It can't grow through the chemical because the chemical is toxic. The chemical is problematic. Okay, it's Jeffrey. Jeffrey, welcome to the live through your other account. Let's go. I love this, right? Welcome to the live, Jeffrey. Let's go. So here's the thing that I want you guys to understand. Is this the same Jeffrey from earlier on, or is this a different Jeffrey? I was just like, okay, welcome to the live, Jeffrey. But I wasn't sure if this is the same Jeffrey. And I didn't want to be rude and just assume it's the same Jeffrey, which I literally just did. All right. So let me know, is this the same Jeffrey or is this a different Jeffrey? Let me know. All right. Because we had Zay1 Jeffrey earlier. All right. Okay. Jeffrey says first time. So this is a first time Jeffrey. Jeffrey, welcome to the live. Sorry. Okay. Apologies. We had Zay1 in the live earlier, who's also Jeffrey. So I wasn't sure if it was the same Jeffrey. All right. The Jeffreys are coming out to play today. Let's go. All right. So we had Zay1 earlier who said Jeffrey's in the house. And now we've got Motorola phone is Jeffrey again in the house. Jeffrey, welcome to the live. All right. So let's jump deeper. And guys, I always forget to say this, so I'm just going to say this when you guys jump in and follow the host. If you haven't hit like, hit that like. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Depending on the platform you're on, follow the channel. Do what you got to do just to show the value. And side by side with that, why don't you share with someone else to show you care? Okay, so if you get value in this live, you know what to do. Just hit the share button so someone else like you can come into our community and we can build a community with unity of people who think the same. Let's go deeper. All right, Jeffrey says it's his first time. Absolutely amazing to have Jeffrey in the live. And guys, for those of you who have given gifts, we've got 2 donuts from Dean earlier. We got a heart me from Dean earlier. We got a rose from Mandy earlier. Thank you guys for the blessings in the live. I appreciate you guys. It's always a blessing to see people donating and showing love. And we are literally at 8.6 thousand likes. This is absolutely absurd. I'm literally seeing this like, yo, what is happening out here? Oh my gosh, here we go. The donuts are coming through right now. Komutima throws in the donuts. Komutima, thank you for the gift. We appreciate you. And guys, all of the badges, gifts, whatever they're called, I'm new to the platforms, guys. I just enjoy adding value to people. So thank you guys for throwing that stuff in. All right, let's go deeper. Now, a tree grows in multiple different directions. One of the directions a tree grows in is in the direction of light. That's called phototropism, right? So you've heard of photosynthesis. It's the properties of light, right? So we're growing in the direction of light. Now, most people are focused on the fruit. So when they're developing their mindset, they develop their mindset without depth. Why? Because they want people to see the fruit, instead of thinking that fruit can't show up unless you have root. So in order to have root, what do you have to do? I'm pointing the wrong way. I need to point this way. In order to have fruit, what do you have to do? You have to develop your root. What is root? That's gravitropism. Gravitropism is the growth that goes in the direction of gravity. Before you can go up and start showing people your fruit, you first have to go down and start showing people your root. If you haven't studied, the Bible says study to show yourself approved. If you haven't studied, how are you going to show up and add value to people? How are you going to help people? If you haven't done the stuff we're talking about, you want to help people become financially free, but you haven't actually become financially free. You want to help people be able to live on their own terms, but you yourself don't even live on your own terms. You want to help people have successful relationships. You yourself don't have successful relationships. That's called hypocrisy, guys. This is how it works. Why? Because gravitropism precedes phototropism. I hope someone's getting this. If you're getting this, just write in the comments, I'm getting it. Oh my gosh, the roses are coming in. Let's go. All right, let's go. I love this. Jeffrey asked a crazy question. What do you think of people using plant growth regulators to force flowers? I think it is absurd. Why? Because real growth always shows in the fruit. So if you use manipulation to develop a root, manipulation will also come out in the fruit. Okay? This is why you see apples with 4 sides. Okay? Right? And triangle-shaped apples, all right? I'm messing with you guys. But I want you guys to understand, if you are manipulating the depth in growth, you're also going to manipulate the fruit in your growth, okay? So I want you guys to think about this, all right? Just so you see exactly what I'm talking about, all right? Semya's giving me the funny faces in the chat. Let's go. All right, let's go deeper. So I gave you 3. I can give you more, but I'm just going to stop there because I want you guys to understand how this works, okay? So what am I showing you? I'm showing you that where most people get fixated on growth and they want to develop their mindset, they say, okay, you know what, Samuel, I'm going to develop my mindset. I'm going to have a developmental mindset and I want to have some real depth, but then they don't focus on the root. They focus instead on the fruit, okay? Understand, scientifically, God shows us trees grow in multiple directions, okay? Yes, trees have gravitropism. They grow in the direction of gravity. They also have phototropism. They grow in the direction of light, but they also have chemotropism, which means when they encounter chemicals, they stop growing in that direction and grow in another direction. They literally go round the chemicals, okay? Why? Because this is a clue to us in terms of how we're supposed to develop and how we're supposed to have depth. How do we have depth? We have depth by developing our down more than we just focus on developing our up. We don't always say, I want to go up, I want to go up, I want to go up. Listen, there's only so much you can go up if you haven't first gone down. I want you guys to understand something. You cannot build a 4-story building if you don't have the appropriate foundation. And guess what we all know? Because you're all smart cookies, guys. Guess what we all know? The deeper your foundation, the higher the elevation. Someone write that in their journal. The deeper my foundation, the higher my elevation. I want you to think about that. Some of us have no depth in our foundation, but we're expecting to have height in our elevation. Some of us have never read a book about becoming financially free, but we think financially free is going to show up for you and me. I want you to understand what I'm talking about. I remember years ago, this was 2005, this was 21 years ago. I heard a coach say something that changed my life. He said, if you want to be happy, make happiness a study. He said, if you want to be wealthy, make wealth a study. And then he said something so powerful that changed my life. He said, because if you don't study it, how will you even know when it shows up? Yeah, I got to go silent for a minute on that. I want you to think about it. If you haven't been studying wealth, if you haven't been studying health, how will you even know when it shows up? If you start doing certain things to make you feel healthier, how will you know they're working if you've never studied health? You don't know what the ramifications of good health are. You don't know what it feels like to have a clear colon. You don't know what it feels like to have mucus removed from your system and have minimal mucus. You don't know what it feels like. You don't know what it feels like to have your bank account hitting every single month with revenue. You don't know what it feels like. So if you don't know what it feels like, even if it showed up in a small microcosm, how would you know that it's there? You won't know. You won't know. Let me tell you why you won't know. Because you didn't decide to first grow. You're thinking, oh no, I got fruit. Yeah, but you've got no root. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this is helping somebody. If someone's getting it, just write in the chat, I'm getting it, I'm getting it, I'm getting it. So the first thing we need to do with our mindset is make sure we have a mindset of development, a development-focused mindset, okay? Let's go. This is deep. Semya says, you make it so easy to understand. This is gems. Semya, thank you ever so much for that amazing, powerful, and beautiful compliment. This is what I do, Semya. Semya, I want you to understand something, right? I spent years as a teacher. I spent more years as a teacher trainer, which means teaching teachers how to teach. And I spent years throughout that whole journey using property to replace my income. Okay, and all I've done for the last 23 years is study the Bible to find secrets, and I use those secrets to create wealth for me and my clients. That's all I do. That's all I do. That is all I literally do. So this is why it's easy for me to teach this stuff. This is why I used my time even at 2 a.m. in the morning to teach this stuff. Because I understand there's people that need answers. I always ask myself, Samuel, if this was back in 2015, when you were working full-time as a teacher, and you needed to replace your income, what would you need? I would need someone to do exactly what I'm doing right now. I need someone to go live, because I probably wouldn't have paid. I was a cheapskate in 2015. I'm just, guys, can I be that real? If I can be real, someone just throw the word real in the chat. In 2015, I was such a cheapskate that I would save my money and make overpayments on my student loan rather than invest in myself to understand how I can change my financial situation and move home. I was a financial cheapskate. I didn't understand that you could discover how to uncover wealth in a way that no one else could even show you. I didn't know it was possible. So you know what I did? I just acted like a cheapskate. So I realized the old me would need me to be alive and make the training free. And then when I see enough of this, guess what's gonna happen? I know the old me. The old me would realize, hold on a minute, this guy knows stuff I don't know. This guy can help me to actually grow. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pay so I can find out how to know. That's what I would need in 2015. So that's what I do. If this is helpful, someone just write helping me in the chat. Okay, that's why, guys, that's why you can jump on my lives and get this value. No, guys, I am giving you the truth because I know the truth makes people free. And that's what I needed in 2015. Guess what? If in 2005, I came across some of these kind of live, I probably then would have changed my life. But in 2015, when I was working full-time, overtime, undertime, and even when I had no time as a teacher, in 2015, when my wife was working full-time, overtime, undertime, and even when she had no time as a teacher, guess what I discovered? I discovered I needed help. And I had to I had to claw my way up, guys. I had to claw my way up so that in 2016, my wife could leave her job. So that in 2017, I could leave my job. I had to claw my way up, guys. Now, 10, 11, 12 years later, yeah, I can jump on live. Yeah, I can add value to you guys. Yeah, I can help you guys change. But you guys have to desire it. You have to want it. You have to say to yourself, you know what, Samuel, I'm going to have a mindset that allows me to develop. You know what, Samuel, I'm going to do the things that are going to allow me to have depth. You have to, I can't make that decision for you. The same way I couldn't make the decision for the old me. The old me had to make that decision so I could be me today. And the you of today has to make that decision so you can be the you of tomorrow. But let me tell you a secret most people don't know. The you of tomorrow, you are already that person on the inside. You already know on the inside you're better than what you've got going on. You already know on the inside that you're better than the things you've had experience. You already know on the inside that you can be the person in your family to be the first one to come home and say, Mom, Dad, I got you. Siblings, I got you. Brothers, sisters, I got you. Nephews, nieces, I got you. Little children, I got you. You can be that person, but you have to make that decision. I can't make that decision for you. Now, that leads us beautifully. Let's go. Jeffrey says, I get it. That leads us beautifully. I love that. Semyon says, amen. Let's go. That brings us beautifully into the third part of the mindset. And this is probably the most important part. If you're someone who's made a decision to have a mindset of development, okay, I'm going to develop myself. I'm going to be in the books. I'm going to join the courses. I'm going to join the training. The things I desire to learn about, I'm going to, let me even tell you the accurate way. The things I desire to earn from, I am going to first learn from. Okay? I'm going to say that again in case you need to pick up your pen. The things I desire to earn from, I'm going to first learn from. If you desire to earn from property and real estate, guess what? Go learn how to invest in property and real estate. Don't just think you're going to do it because you got a bright idea. No, there's people who've got bright ideas 15, 20, 30 years before you and they've executed. Go learn off of their mistakes instead of you having to make those mistakes. You can pay £1,000. You can pay £2,000. You can take £10,000 and learn so you don't have to make £20,000 of mistakes. Develop mindset. Then you have a depth of mindset. The depth is where you just say, you know what? If it's going to be, it's up to me. You press in. You start having depth. You grow in terms of gravitropism so that you can show in terms of phototropism. Someone's going to catch that. Now, let's go deeper. After development and depth, you get my favorite part of mindset. This is the most important part of mindset. And this is the reason why Nike is one of the most expensive brands for sportswear in the world. Why? Because they told you just do it. What does that mean? That means you have to have a mindset of diligence. Diligence is the just do it mindset. Diligence is if it's going to be, it's up to me. Diligence is get up and get out and get it done. Okay? Let's go. Let's go. I love it. I love this. Notorious. Let me know your name. And I'm old school. I need people's names so I can address them properly. And also so I can welcome you for joining us in the live. Notorious says, didn't you work in sales? Question mark. Yes, I did work in sales. My first ever job was in sales. I used to sell shoes in Clark's. Okay. I used to sell shoes in Clark's it's typically Oxford Street, but it's not Oxford Street. It was the Tottenham Court Road side of Oxford Street. So it was classified as Tottenham Court Road, but it was literally on Oxford Street. I used to sell shoes. That was my first ever job. It was a part-time job. I got the job in work experience, and then they asked me to keep and stay on as a Sunday job. So I used to work doing that. I used to sell shoes. Then after selling shoes, what else did I did? My first full-time job at the age of 19, I worked as an estate agent. So you could say technically I sold houses, but I was 19 years old. I had no idea how to sell anything because I used to think sales was getting people's money until I discovered that sales is actually serving people, and people give you their money happily because you're giving them more than what the money's worth for. So I worked in estate agency at the age of 19. And then I got a job in Carphone Warehouse. I was working in Carphone Warehouse for 3 years for a great entrepreneur, Charles Dunstan, who ended up going from selling phones to actually buying AOL, right? One of the biggest internet companies at the time. That was super crazy, just seeing an entrepreneur being able to make power moves like that. But yeah, I worked in Carphone Warehouse for 3 years whilst I studied my first degree and also whilst I studied my first master's. So hopefully that helps, Notorious. Notorious, let me know your name. Hopefully that helps. Now, let's go deeper. So the first thing is you want a mindset that has development. Then you want a mindset that has depth. And then you want to make sure your mindset has diligence. Now, I'm going to give you a little Bible verse because this is going to help you, okay? The Bible verse is Proverbs, one of my favorite books in the Bible, chapter 12, and specifically verse 24. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to read it for you as well because I think this is going to be super valuable for you. So I'm going to read Proverbs chapter 12, verse 24. excuse me, as we have this, as we talk about this mindset of diligence, okay? Proverbs 12:24, as we talk about this mindset of diligence. Listen to what it says. In Proverbs 12:24, it says, the hand of the diligent shall bear rule. Okay? What does that mean in English? In simple English, that means diligent hands end up being in charge. People that are diligent end up being the boss. People that are active end up taking control. Okay? I'm going to read it again. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule. Now, I'm going to read the second part of the verse because I want you to have the whole truth. I don't want you to have one-sided truth, because what happens is sometimes we read that part, the nice, juicy part, and we say, oh yeah, I'm going to be diligent so I can be in charge. No, no, no. Read the second part. The second part's equally powerful, right? Because the second part might be what you're doing right now. The second part says, but the slothful shall be under tribute. Okay? Now, what does that mean in simple English? It means people that are lazy, slothful, people that are lazy, people that are always waiting to take action, okay? They end up being under tribute. That means they end up being locked up. They end up not being able to actually take advantage of the advantages in front of them. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be stuck under tribute. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you understand what we've been sharing today. What we've been sharing today is the first of the 5 things you need to focus on in order to allow yourself to be free instead of your freedom being fenced out from you. And those things we're going to go through over the next few days, but today we deep dive into the first one, which is mindset. And in order for you to have the right mindset, you need to have a mindset of development. I would encourage you to have a mindset of depth, and I would encourage you to have a mindset of diligence. Because with the right mindset, the mindset of diligence, guess what's going to happen? You are going to start to bear rule rather than be trapped like a fool. So with that being said, guys, we're going to open it up for a short while. We'll take some questions. Guys, throw in your hardest questions right now, guys. Throw in your hardest questions. Throw in your hardest questions. And for those of you who are just joining us, throw in your hardest questions. If you've got questions about what we've shared, it's question time. It's question time. I should have used this at the beginning, but it's question time. So let me just say again, a great big welcome to the session. All right. It's question time. But guys, throw your questions in. Let me know what questions you have so I can answer your questions. And guys, for those of you who haven't let me know so far, let me know where you are tuning in from. Are you in the UK? Are you in the US of A? Are you in Australasia? Are you in Asia? Are you in Mother Africa? Let me know where you're tuning in from in the chat. And for those of you who have questions, throw your hardest questions into the chat so I can answer those questions before we're out of this live. What questions do you guys have? What questions do you guys have? What questions do you guys have before we wrap up this live? Okay. What questions do you guys have? Let's go, let's go, let's go. What questions do you guys have? All right. So we're out here to answer your questions, guys. I did say on one of the platforms, on the red platform, that we will probably take questions if we get time. You guys have had me literally sharing several different aspects of things I didn't even plan to share, but we're gonna throw it up right now if you guys have questions as well. Samuel says, I'm joining from London, Samuel. Samuel, always a pleasure to have you in the live. Let's go. All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. Caitlin, welcome to the live. Caitlin says, London, joined late, but I'm glad I found this live. Oh, Caitlin, thank you ever so much. That's such a beautiful thing to say. Caitlin, please make sure, if you haven't already, to follow, because a lot of the time on the Black platform, people tell me, oh, Samuel, I found your live, and then I couldn't find your live again for months or weeks, right? So please remember to follow if this was of value to you so you can catch me on the next lives. You guys have asked me to go live for 5 days in a row. Today is day 1. We literally didn't start on the April the 1st, but you know what it is. But we're going to be going live for these 5 days, and we're going to be talking about the 5 focuses you need to have in order to fix your freedom, and the 5 focuses, if you don't have, that will fence out your freedom. So Caitlin, welcome to the live. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, depending on the platform you're on, guys, because I know some of you guys are on the red platform. If you're over on the red platform, Samuel, I can win. You know what to do. Literally hit subscribe so you can win. If you're on the black platform, hit that follow. If you're on the blue platform, hit that follow. If you're on the purpley orange platform, you can hit follow or whatever you guys want to do. But like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff to be a part of the tribe. And side by side with that, Caitlin, thank you ever so much for deciding to follow the host. And side by side with that, guys, feel free to share with someone else to show you care, because there's usually someone else out there who would be astonished to be able to get this value and to be a part of our community all at the same time. So let's do what we got to do. All right, guys, throw your hardest questions in. Caitlin said she jumped in late. So guys, whatever time you jumped in, if you got a question, throw your questions in. Now's the time. I'm going to take a couple questions before we wrap up. I will be able to take a couple. Let's take 2. And I'm going to set the timer, guys, because remember what we said is the third mindset is a mindset of diligence, okay? So we can't be wasting time. We got to be effective with our time. So let's put a 2-minute timer on right now. We're going to take 2 minutes to let you guys get your questions in. If you have questions in, throw your questions inside of the chat. And guys, look, if you got value in this live and you're someone saying, you know what, Samuel, I love the stuff that you're teaching out here live, but I'd actually like to come and learn more from you about how I can create cash flow in my own personal individual life, all you need to do is direct message me. Direct message me on one of the platforms where you can direct message. So that is the Black platform. The Black platform's cool. All right. I'm not always in it, but I try to get back to people as quick as I can. Samuel, let me know if I get back to people quick enough, right? Or not. All right, please let me know, because I feel like I'm flopping in how fast I get back to people on the Black platform. I do apologize, but I like the Black platform, but it's the newest platform I'm on, so I'm trying, okay? So the Black platform, I do jump into my DMs every now and then and respond to people as regularly as I can. The Blue platform is the oldest platform I've been on. I've been on that platform since 2016. So guys, yes, I do respond in the Blue platform probably faster than any other platform. The Purple and Orange platform is a bit of a weird one, but I try to get back to my DMs in the Purple and Orange platform. The Red platform doesn't have DMs, so what do we say? It's okay. All right, but guys, throw your questions in, whatever questions you have, and if you would like to go further faster, if you want to know what recommendations I would make for you personally for your own individual situation, then just hit me up in the DMs of the Black platform, or hit me up in the DMs of the Blue platform, or hit me up in the DMs of the Purpley Orange platform. The Black platform is probably the best, or just message me on whatever platform you're on. Unless you're on the Red platform, then you got to go onto the Blue platform or the other platform. Now, for those of you who are thinking, Samuel, why do you call them the platforms by the colors? Because apparently my team keep telling me if I say the names of the platforms, then the specific platforms don't share my content to other platforms, which is super weird. I don't know why they do that, but you know, I let them run their business and I run my business how I run my business. All right, guys, any questions? We're in the last 10 seconds. Let me know if there are any questions. If there are no questions, you guys know what to do. You can just share your key takeaway. What was the biggest thing you took away from this live? What was the biggest thing you took away from this live? What was the biggest thing you took away from this live? Time's up for the questions, but guys, let's take some key takeaways. What was the biggest thing you took away from this live? What did you hear today that literally made your brain do some mental gymnastics, that made you literally think, you know what, Samuel, you showed me something today that I had never ever thought about? Let's take 1 or 2 key takeaways before we wrap up in today's live. I'm already wiping my eyes. You can see I'm ready to go to sleep. So with that being said, guys, throw your key takeaways in. If we don't have enough time for your key takeaways because I end up bouncing out of here, guys, all you can do is share in the DMs your key takeaways as well. I'm always interested in seeing people's key takeaways. What were the big ahas? What were the things that made people learn? What stood out to someone? What did someone think, wow, you know what, Samuel, I never knew a tree was literally so powerful like that. How did you help me learn so many characteristics and components about a tree? You used a tree to teach me. Yeah, that's Samuel I Can Win, ladies and gentlemen. All right, guys, with that being said, I can't see any comments or questions inside of the live, so I'm assuming that you guys are ready for tomorrow's live already. So with that being said, I'm about to be out without a doubt. You know what I usually say, it's small keys open big doors. So without a doubt, guys, keep picking up those keys so you can open those doors of yours. This is Samuel I Can Win. I'm signing out. Good day, God bless, love, and I'll see you on the next live, which will probably be tomorrow. Let's go. See you guys next time.